drop a like if you like gems. Quite possibly the biggest update and most technical update ever to come to Pet Simulator X. It would have taken 3 weeks by the time it comes out. This Saturday we have got the countdown. It will be 11 AM CST on Saturday or 5 PM in the UK, and we have got all the leaks that have come out from Preston to show you, so stay tuned throughout this video to learn more and more what you need to do to prepare for this upcoming update. Now, why has it taken so long? Why did we not get the update this Saturday? Why is it going to be 3 weeks by the time the update comes out? Well, Preston has said it's been taking a lot of time because I had to bring David on board to write the back end, which was a few thousand lines of code. Now, if you weren't aware, David is probably the really smart one out of everybody at Big Games. He's the one that does all the techie stuff, and he was responsible not only for my restaurant, but oh, hey look, this is the #1 leaderboard player in the world for my restaurant. Still grinding over 1 year on. Anyway, David was responsible for the technical marvel that is this building here. This building here is the auction house. Let me just check. Yeah, Orion's is #1. So David was responsible for the code behind the real-time online auction house for my restaurant. The first time ever in Roblox for such a technical marvel to be produced. And David did this. David coded everything. You can buy, sell, trade, and do all of those things online in real time in Roblox thanks to David's code. Now, this is why Preston has called David to help out on Pet Simulator X for the new bank update. And why? Well, because again, it's going to be a technical marvel. Let's cover everything that is going on in the bank update in Pet Simulator X. So we're going to switch games. So this is the kind of stuff David does for Big Games and Pet Simulator X and my restaurant. Here he is showing some lines of code like flying across the screen. I don't know much about it, but this just shows the kind of work that is going to be put into Pet Simulator X for this coming update. Now, what is coming in this update? Well, it's going to be highly gem focused. Again, I know you've probably been saving up for gems for quite some time now. I know some of the methods have been nerfed multiple times now, so I'm just going to quickly run over how to get more gems because things have changed since the weekend. Preston has patched a few things. However, there is still ways to make gems, just not as much as before. Now, don't worry, I know a lot of you have invested heavily in basic pets with enchants such as Diamond 4, 5 and Royalty. Don't worry, we're still going to be using those because as far as I can tell, they're still the most efficient way to get gems. However, what I've noticed is on some of the lower powered chests, in comparison to the big chest and even the giant present, the rate at which the diamond ticks is faster. Now, I'm not necessarily saying you get more gems from this, but notice how fast the gem rate ticks. So there, and there, and there. So the regularity of the tick, ignoring the numbers, is faster. Now, this is strange. I've never noticed this before. So we're going to do some experimenting because this tick rate is super fast on this chest. DjLcLc. Once again, thank you for all the art. There is a link in the description down to Discord where you can join and submit art. Anyway, we're going to go over to a fantasy world and check out some of the other chests and wait for a giant present to spawn to compare it. Okay, so it shouldn't take long for a giant present to spawn. Until then, we can do all of the research that we need to do on the other presents. So let's start with Ancient Island, I guess. That's the next one in the list. So we're going to head on over here and check out if it's worth mining gems here, at least until we work out what's going on with this tick rate. Now, why can't I click? Oh, I guess that's why. My guys are still mining in Fantasy World, so I'm going to have to unequip all of my pets. Now, there is some good news. In my previous video, we put up a link to my friend, Hey Dude, Where's the Foods, a Discord post which requested Preston would turn the equip button into an unequip button. So a toggle button. So you press equip, equips your best pets, and then it turns into a unequip button, and then you can unequip all your pets. So that received some good response. In fact, we got Preston to notice this bro with a sweat emoji and a crying, laughing emoji. So we may get this in our next update. Who knows?
Please, Preston, please.
Alright, so let's check out the regularity of the tick on this chest in comparison to the other one. It seems just as fast as the volcano chest, so the regularity of the tick is faster. So we're going to move up the chain of chests as they progress through the game and see at what point the tick rate increases or decreases even. So let's go over to tech entry and compare it directly to this much bigger, much more harder to crack chest, and the tick rate is very slow. We haven't had a tick yet at all. Let's wait for our first one. Okay, that was our first tick, and there is a big gap between the next one. It's much slower than the smaller chests. There we go, another one. It takes a lot more seconds to tick over than the smaller chest, so maybe we can use this to get more gems. Okay, we really don't get many gems at all from this. In fact, we get more gems from the volcano chest and the ancient island chest than using the same pets on this chest, just because the tick rate is so slow. So let's go check out, maybe we should check out the classic place to earn gems, which is heaven. And this giant chest here, we used to grind gems on this for a long time before it kind of got nerfed. But let's check out what it's like with our basic pets with the royalty enchants. Okay, so the tick rate is actually super fast here. We're getting a higher tick rate and we're getting a decent amount of gems in comparison to the high-tech chest, which was extremely slow tick rate. Okay, so that's not too bad, but we're going to go experiment elsewhere because this one's so big, the gems spread pretty far. Without magnet, it's actually difficult to collect them all. So we're going to hand it over to the giant alien chest and see what it's like on this one. Now, I imagine this is going to be as bad as the high-tech chest because it's just harder to crack for these small pets. So I imagine the tick rate is very slow. And yes, there is no tick rate at the moment. I think the pets have to do a certain amount of damage before they even get a tick, so we're still waiting for our first. Okay, we did get 3k gems from that, but then there is a big delay before the next tick. The tick rate is extremely slow on these larger chests, and I want to experiment to see if this is the same with the giant present, because that actually has quite a large number of damage. Okay, that's clearly a terrible place to mine gems with basic pets, so let's head on back over to a lower powered chest. In fact, Hell has 2 of those chests, so let's head on over there and see if we can use the fact that there's 2 low powered chests to increase our gem production. Alright, let's wait for these giant chests to spawn and attach our pets and see what happens. Alright, so I'm going to attach all 20 pets to this chest and we'll see. Let's see what the tick rate's like. Okay, the tick rate is fast. It's certainly faster than tech entry and the alien chest. So again, a low powered chest with a fast tick rate. Alright, we've actually got 2 of these chests now, so maybe we can experiment and put half the pets on one and half on the other. We're getting about 1k, but at the increased tick rate. So let's remove some of these pets. Let me get rid of a bunch of these. Let's maybe go for half on each. No, I've got 13 there right now. I need to get rid of 3 more, so let's get rid of 1, 2, 3. Alright, so we're getting a high tick rate and we're getting a decent amount of gems per tick still, even with half the pets. I wonder what it's like with just one of the pets attached. Does that make a difference? Alright, we're getting a lot less gems, but the tick rate is still high. So we clearly need a certain amount of pets on there to keep the diamond flows coming. So we're going to go back and we're going to put 10 on one chest and 10 on the other. I think that's going to be the first experiment. So let's get 10 of these on 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we're going to attach 10 to there and we're getting a fast tick rate. Let it speed up a bit. Okay, yeah, we're getting a few K on each tick. So let's go and equip 10 more of our royalty enchanted basic pets, and we're going to attach them to the other chest and stand in the middle and see what happens. Alright, now we've got the flow from the left and the right, and we're getting actually a decent amount of gems. We're getting the tick rate speed from both chests, and we're getting a decent amount of gems. I'm not sure if this is actually faster than putting 20 on one, but it appears to be. Another thing I wanted to try was bringing over one of my alts and stacking his pets with mine. Now, I know it's been nerfed by Preston, however, it's not been fully nerfed, so you still get some benefit. We're going to get him to attach all of his pets to one of the chests and see if production increases. It was going up by about 1k every fast tick. Seems to be going up by 2, maybe even 3k now, so there's definitely an improvement. Maybe if he splits his pets and puts like 10 on each chest, maybe that'll make a difference. So let's get him to do that. LcLc, can you split your pets, please? Okay, I can hear him. I can hear him ticking and unticking pets. So we're going to split those over and see if the rate changes. Alright, we've now got half and half on each. It's definitely going up pretty fast. I'm not sure if there's a difference, but what we'll do is we'll bring over another alt account.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I've added a third alt who has about 7 basic pets with diamond enchants, and it's definitely increasing the production rate. We're doing pretty well here. We're still getting that fast tick rate because we're on these low powered chests with the basic pets. But what I want to know is if we switch over to high powered pets on the high powered chests, all with royalty or some kind of diamond enchant, yeah, royalty there, and one more royalty there, another royalty there. Do these higher powered pets increase the tick rate so that it's just as fast as the lower powered chest? I don't think so. These ticks are coming in very slowly. There's a long gap between each tick. Ignoring the numbers, we're just waiting for the speed of a tick, and it's taking forever. So it would appear the lower powered chests have a faster tick rate. All we need now is a giant present to spawn to experiment with that.
A few moments later.
Okay, a giant present has finally spawned in Candyland. We've not been here for a while. Alright, let's attach one group of basic pets and see what the tick rate is like. Okay, we are still waiting for our first tick. Alright, we got 4k from that tick, but it is very slow. So because of the damage of this present is quite high, the tick rate is slower. Although we are getting a larger amount of gems per tick, the regularity of the tick is slow. So I think actually let's bring over some alts first before we make a decision and see if that makes a difference. Alright, we've now got 2 alts. Again, these guys have got diamond enchanted pets. We're going to attach those, and yeah, it still stacks, not as high as it did before, but the tick rate is still very slow on this present in comparison to the lower powered hell chest, for example. In fact, let's put them side by side. You can see how fast the tick rate is on the right in comparison to the tick rate on the left. Now, it's hard to work out which is actually giving you more gems because a larger tick on the left, a faster tick on the right. And now, why do we need all of these diamonds? Well, Preston has put up a sneak peek of the update which shows the bank interface, the bank GUI, and we can see, as I predicted in my last video, you'll be able to store your valuable pets. You'll also be able to share them with your friends, but more interestingly, you'll be able to earn interest on diamonds. Now, let's take a closer look at this GUI and zoom in. Okay, so at the top right, you have a green icon with a plus icon. It's a round circle with a plus in the middle. That has actually been confirmed and leaked as a bank plus icon, obviously. You'll obviously be able to click that and add a pet into your storage, into your chest. And that is the purple button, purpley pink button below with the confirmed bank chest icon, a storage place for your valuable pets. And now below there are 2 smiley faces, which are probably your friends buttons. You can share your pets with your friends. I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work. If you've got any ideas, then comment down below. But the most interesting one so far is interest on diamonds. So just like in a real bank, if you deposit $100, for example, eventually you'll get like $1 interest, and that is coming to Pet Simulator X. Those 4 clock icons down here, I imagine you can deposit some gems. Let's say you decide to deposit 1 million gems for a set amount of time. It could be a day, it could be 3 days, 5 days, similar to the dark matter machine, and then you come back and your gems have increased in value. You may deposit 1 million and come back with, let's say, 1.1 million gems. This is just like a real bank and is coming to the update this Saturday. And furthermore, Here is the bank leader icon. This is like a crown given to the leader of the bank, the person who has the most balance in their bank, I can only assume, which means you'll be able to deposit your gems and there will possibly be a leaderboard showing who has the most gems in the entire game. Now think, if there is a diamond or gem cap of 25 billion per user, you'll be able to deposit that 25 billion and start collecting gems again. So this creates new competition, not just the old leaderboard of who has the most damaged pets, but now who is the richest. And then also we have a few more icons to leak. This is called the bank kick icon. Now I'm not exactly sure how this will work. Any ideas, comment down below. And then we have this, which is the bank lock icon. Now I think what happens is when you deposit your gems, you lock them in for, I don't know, 30 minutes, 1 day, 5 days, and you hit this button and it locks them in, and then they are locked. You can't get them out until they are ready and you've got your new interest. If we zoom in at the top of this image, you can see in the background, to me anyway, this looks like Fantasy World. Now there looks like an island here. Now the biggest question of all is, where is this bank going to be? If Preston has triggered this bank menu in Fantasy World with that image in the background, where on the Fantasy World map is the bank going to be? Is it going to be next to the shop here somewhere? Are they going to squash it in or just place it next to the enchanting machine? Or is it going to go up here near the pets? I'm not sure, but it definitely looks like it's in Fantasy World on Preston's leak. Now the other question is, will it be available here in Spawn World? Again, it's quite tight here. There's not much space for anything. Over here we still have the merchant traveler spawning, so there's not really much room for it. Where is it going to be? Is it going to be its own building separate to everything else? Is it going to be just in Tech World? Who knows? We will find out, and no doubt I will release another video very soon. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell for the latest news, tips and tricks in Pet Simulator X.